Welcome to the Balls Not Court podcast. Cortez Paul is here, alongside Kevin Carter. We are at Custom Cuts in Jacksonville, Florida. We are, of course, here again. As usual, it's always fun to be here.
Jacksonville.
And Chris he's always been kind enough to invite us back in.
He's a gracious host.
But, we was off the air discussing the funny story about the whole birthday deal where his wife had a dinner one to set up, but he was waiting for it to show up and do the podcast. We don't want to get you in trouble, Chris. That's the last thing me and Kevin don't want you to do, but we're glad that he had a good birthday.
My wife would have whooped me, though, if I would have said, I don't know what we're doing because I don't know if they're coming or not. My wife would have been like, you're going to fucking eat.
Excuse me?
My wife would have been like, you're going to eat.
Yeah, you're going to eat. Ain't nothing bust about it. I took time out of my day. But, Chris likes sports. Kevin likes sports. I like sports. So.
Well, if it's my birthday, I'm definitely going to go get me something to eat.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm like, birthday is the day I'm born. I need to go out and do something. So.
Thank you for that great insight on the birthday was the day you were born.
I know. Captain Obvious.
Hey,
you know what? That's what I'm here for.
That's what you're here for.
I'm here to provide
is for the most obvious things in the history of the face of the earth.
I know. For people that did not know that was their day that we were born when I was making them aware. So.
I know.
All right, let's talk.
If you did not know that your birthday was the day that you came out of your mom.
Hey, surprisingly, we know some people that are that slow, so we're not going to mention any names.
If they're that slow, they need to be shot. And I say that with all the love in the world, but if you that slow, yeah.
Oh, Lord. All right, let's move in here. Let's talk about the week in review.
Wow.
We're going to go ahead and talk about Arizona and St. Louis. What you think about this game here? Arizona, it was a low-scoring game, 12-6. And, you pretty much had a low-scoring game. You got Arizona that's down to their string quarterback? Their fifth, I want to say.
17th string quarterback.
17th string.
It's either 4, 5, 6. I forgot how many it was down to. I think it's either 3 or 4. But, Arizona's amazed me that they actually been able to stay steady with their quarterback play and been able to stay in these games. But the big reason they've been able to stay in these games is because their defense is so good. That's the reason they've been able to stay in these games. Their defense has been amazing.
Right, and so that's what I'm saying. So that division just been tough all around. St. Louis is. I guess this is what put the pressure on. Do you think that, I know I'm just going on top of here because they're still leading that division with a fifth-string quarterback. Can they come back and can Seattle come back and win the division?
Seattle's going to win the division. It's just like I told you before. I said Seattle's still going to win the division. Seattle's got it. Yeah, Seattle's got it. It's a bar none conclusion. Arizona's been able to stave off all these other teams, but can they stave off Seattle with their fourth-string quarterback and with that defense going after a fourth-string quarterback?
Right. Because they clinch a berth to the play with that win.
Yeah, they're in. I just don't think they'll win the division.
Right. Look at that. One game behind them. So.
Yeah, this is the ball game. If Seattle wins, they win the division. And most likely are going to be the number 1 seed. So.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep it moving here. We'll go to the next game and discuss Pittsburgh and Atlanta. You got Pittsburgh 27, Atlanta 20. You got Pittsburgh 27, Atlanta 20. I guess I want to say with the whole deal that they didn't have Julio Jones in this game. Douglas came in and gave him
Douglas came in and Julio Jones did.
Pretty much, and they still came up short here in that division. We already know it's a mess as far as the NFC South. It's a shame that a team that's going to be under 500.
Well, New Orleans can be 500 and win the division. If New Orleans just wins out, they'll be 500 and they'll win the division. Because they got 2 more games left. Yeah. So they would finish 8-8 and they would win the division. So that's we actually have a 500 team playing a opening playoff game, and they get it at home.
Right. So Pittsburgh, they're still
which is ridiculous.
And on the flip side, that other division that is
and Pittsburgh's still in the division from hell. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not everybody's 500. Cleveland's now 500.
Cleveland's
thanks
now
to their idiotic mistake of putting that dude in their game.
All right, let's talk
Such
about
a
that.
bad move.
Let's talk about that since we are on that subject.
Such a-
Cincinnati 30, Cleveland 0.
It was a bad move. You were in the playoff race. You were in the race, but you wasn't in the race. But to make that move that fast against that sort of team, no, it was a dumb move. It was stupid.
Johnny Manziel 10 for 18, 80 yards. Quarterback rating of 27.3.
He was bad.
3 sacks.
No, a QBR of 1.
Right.
1. 1. If they could have gave you negative numbers, they would. It was 1.
I mean, is it just is his first game? Do you see you don't have any hope? I mean, it's just one game.
It don't matter if it was one game or not. He should never play this year at all whatsoever. He's got talent around him. They got more talent than, as a comparison, Blake Bortles does here. But yet he played that bad. That bad. It was terrible. Terrible.
I guess to what you're saying, I do agree with you. I was sitting there and just trying to find something. I mean,
and who did they play this week? And who did Cleveland play this week?
Cleveland,
keep going up.
Cleveland got this week. Let's take a look.
Carolina. It ain't gonna be no better. He'll struggle if he struggles against Carolina. That's when you know that it's gonna be bad. I don't care if you're a rookie or not. The rookies don't struggle that bad. They struggle. I'm watching one struggle, but they don't struggle that bad. That dude couldn't even get over 100 yards.
Well, what do you think about?
You should have gotten 100 yards just in garbage time alone. You ain't even getting 100 yards.
Well, some of his throws was off the back foot.
They were horrible. Because you got to think, what did he do in Texas A&M? They had no game plan. In Texas A&M, it was Johnny go out and do all that. He can't do all that crazy running around, all that hocus pocus junk. He can't do it in the NFL. He just can't. It's not going to work against guys that run faster than you. That stuff can work when you are just scrambling around and throwing the ball, but it didn't make. Now you see how good his receivers really were. Now that they're in the NFL, they're succeeding. Mike Evans looks like a legit threat.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how it just progressed. But he's not going to be able. He can't make those type of throws in the NFL because he ain't going to be able to get away with them. He ain't going to be able to stare down a guy. He ain't going to be able just to run around and then go and get open and it's a completely different game. The players are way better.
Yeah, I'm sitting there watching the game a little bit, the highlights. It was some of the passes he threw was off his back foot, and he was throwing a little bit over.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It wasn't really that accurate throws. I mean, yeah, everybody particularly struggled in their first game, but I really had no words to justify because it was really pretty bad. Like how he on some of these spots he was putting.
And people are like, and people thought he was going to be good because there was no tape on him or anything like that. But and that's usually what rookies do. If there's no tape, they come in and they look pretty good. But he looked lost, and he just looked bad. When you compare it to the other guys, other rookies that have started this time, they've all come out and looked good in their first few games because there's no tape on them, and these guys they succeeded. Bortles coming in during the Colts game, leading them on a few drives and stuff. Looked lost at times, but still threw for 200 yards and a half. Right. Derek Carr doing what he's done in Oakland with a bad team in Oakland. Teddy Bridgewater doing what he's doing in Minnesota, where they actually have talent in Minnesota. Much like Minnesota, they have talent in Cleveland. But he just looked lost. He looked bad.
Do you try to blame someone because usually they got a strong running game? They ain't get the running game on the ground either. But you pretty much not.
You were playing the Bengals defense is one of the best teams against the run.
Right. You
picked a bad game to put him in there on, but he just looked lost and bad.
Should I just start making an excuse for Johnny Manziel?
Yes,
now?
you should.
Let's go ahead and move forward because we'll see how he does week to week here. But
the only good part was he completed over half of his touches. By one.
Yeah.
But he was just bad. He looked lost. That's basically what you can say is he really looked lost.
All right. Got the New York Giants beating Washington Redskins 24-13. RG3's back in the helm. Now that we find out that Colt McCoy is out for the season.
His neck.
All right. So
again, which was that was a stupid move on their part too, taking a guy with a hurt neck and going, hey, go back out there and play. So you can hurt your neck again. Neck issues and back issues are not smart things to be putting people out there on.
No. All right, let's move forward. Like Kevin said, just short.
The only good part of that is Odell Beckham Jr. and his Rookie of the Year. He's a huge Rookie of the Year candidate.
Yeah.
Him, me and John were talking about this today. Him, Mike Evans, Kelvin Benjamin. The wide receiver class.
Sammy Watkins, too.
The wide receiver class has been phenomenal this year.
Yeah.
Guys like Allen Hurns. Allen Robinson before he got hurt. Allen Robinson had 500 yards before he got hurt and has missed 7 games now. So he would have been right up there with these guys as well. None of them broke 1,000. I don't think none of them broke 1,000. No. Kelvin may have broken 1,000. But I know that the other ones were right behind them. But it's been a great year for
the wideouts.
What
about the Matthews, too, in Philly?
Yeah, Matthews has come on. Matthews has come on.
I forgot about him.
But I still think Beckham's going to win it just because everybody sees what he's done, and he's made those crazy, spectacular catches. I don't think he should win. I wouldn't say he shouldn't win it, but you're going to base it. They base it off the eye test, really, and who you see a lot of them, SportsCenter, but they all got about the same amount of yards and the same amount of highlight catches and everything like that. But me and John were arguing the Evans Beckham thing, and I just said Beckham would probably win it just because of where he's at. Yeah. And what he's done lately that everybody is
They're impressive. That's why I say you're right. That wide receiver class.
It was a great class.
It was a deep class.
Great class. People that didn't even get drafted are making statements.
Exactly. So I'm eager to see how this.
Let's see what has Kelvin got? Oh, he's at 952. So they're all at 9. They're all going to be over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
By the end of it, they'll all be over 1,000 yards receiving, which is phenomenal that you're going to have that many guys over 1,000 yards that are coming as rookies.
Yeah.
Allen Hurns is at 700. And he was an undrafted rookie wide receiver. Nobody else on the Jaguars can catch except him either.
That's what I'm saying. He's a person, too, for being an undrafted rookie.
Oh, yeah. It's I said, the wide receiver class it's been phenomenal this year. That's been one of my enjoyments to watch is all these young receivers coming
Going around where I work at, they talk a lot about Hearns and believe that he's got a bright future. And they like a lot of what he has to offer for him being that valuable as an undrafted rookie.
Well, it's because he's the only guy that can catch right now. He's the only guy on that team that can really catch the ball right now. They're throwing it in the Mercedes, and he's got the case of the dropsy. Cecil Shorts, he can't catch a cold.
And yeah, you got to go with a high hand.
And Allen Hurns has been the one that's consistently getting catch after catch after catch, and Blake Bortles is getting that kind of comfortable with him. Right. Before Allen Robinson got hurt, Blake was getting really comfortable with Allen Robinson. But now Blake seems like he's just riding that hot hand and trying to get the ball to him.
Yeah. And
next year it's going to be even better, hopefully, if the return of Justin Blackmon makes these guys a whole new thing, because you'll have almost these guys that can do everything. And now Marquise Lee is actually turning it on as well. Marquise Lee's getting steps on corners every time. Blake's just missing him. But when you watch the Baltimore game, he had 3 steps on the dude in the end zone, and Blake just overthrew him by a little bit. Right. But all these rookie receivers have impressed me. It's amazing that this was the wide receiver class.
Yeah.
Next year we don't know what the class is going to be. A lot of people say